guys, it's Boxing Lowdown and I'm back here with another video. Now don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Feel free to drop a comment if you like and I'll happily get back to you. Now let's talk about Danny Swift Garcia, who was last in action against Errol Spence in December. He was thoroughly beaten on that night, man. Errol Spence pretty much dominated that fight from start to finish. He was outboxed, but he put up a brave effort, man. I mean, he was in there, he was taking some tough shots, and Danny Garcia is underrated, man, in terms of his toughness and you know, his heart. You know, he's one of those guys where I feel like he doesn't get the credit he deserves. I mean, he's not the flashiest fighter in the world, he's not the most skillful, he's not even the best fighter in the world, but I think that his resume gets overlooked at quite a lot. And I just think that, yeah, he's one of those guys that is underrated in my opinion. But he was thoroughly outboxed against Errol Spence. I mean, Errol Spence is, you know, he's elite level. But yeah, he lost that fight. And I'll be honest, at welterweight, it's been a bit of a mixed bag for him in terms of like his fights there. He's won some, he's lost some. He's hasn't ducked away from anyone, should say that. But compared to his resume at 140 pounds, his career at welterweight has been lukewarm, so to speak. He lost to Keith Thurman, he lost to Sean Porter, he's lost to Errol Spence. Those are his only 3 losses, all by decision. But he has picked up a welterweight title earlier on. He beat Robert Guerrero for that. And you know, compared to his reign at junior welterweight, I mean, he was like a unified champion down there and Ring Magazine champion. He had a fantastic resume at junior welterweight. At welterweight, it hasn't really been as successful, but you know, you win some, you lose some, man. I'm not going to be one of those guys that say, you know, if you've got a couple of losses on your record, then all of a sudden it don't make you a good fighter, because that's the reason why these fighters are not getting in the ring with each other, because they're getting labelled with that brush. So let's give Danny Garcia credit for going in against these guys. He's now saying that he's considering moving up to 154 pounds. Now, what do you guys think of that? Is he too small for 154? I mean, when you look at some of the guys at 154, man, there are some killers up there, and it's dangerous. I mean, it's one of those divisions where it's not in the limelight as much as a welterweight or like heavyweight or lightweight. It's not often mentioned amongst those divisions, but when you look at some of the fighters in there, you know, they've got some killers at light middleweight. So Jermell Charlo, he's the number one guy, under no doubt about it. He's not undisputed, but he's the unified champion. He's got 3 of the 4 belts. He's the number one guy at junior middleweight. Could Danny Garcia hang with him? Brian Castano, he's got the WBO belt. He's undefeated. He looks really good as well, actually, very big. And he is the WBO champion. Could Danny Garcia hang with him? And then you look at the other guys, you've got Jared Hurd, who is huge at the weight. I don't know how he makes junior middleweight, but he said that he's going to stay at that weight because there are rumors that he was going to move up to middle, but now it's looking like he's going to stay at junior middleweight. And then you've got the veterans like Erislandy Lara, you've got the prospects like Erickson Lubin. Should we still call him a prospect? He's a contender now, but you've got young fighters like him on the way up. You've got, you know, quality fighters like Julian Williams and Jason Rosario, the former world champion. He lost to Jermell Charlo. You've got Tony Harrison, a former world champion. And these are just some of the guys in the top 10, man. It's going to be tough for Danny Garcia to hang at that weight. But in terms of market value, I'd say that he probably hangs with any of them, to be fair, in terms of his worth. But in terms of the competitiveness, I wouldn't like to see him jump in there with a Jermell Charlo straight away. Certainly not. Yeah, I'd like to see him maybe kind of work his way up. But how old is Danny Garcia now? He must be in his early 30s, isn't he? He must be what, 30, what is he? He's 32, Danny Garcia. I'm just looking now, he's 32 years old, and he's still got time. He's still got time to make something of his career. Well, he's already had a good career, but moving up to light middleweight, it's going to be a new challenge for him. Maybe that's what he wants. To be fair, at welterweight, he's fought nearly, you know, well, I wouldn't say everybody, but he's fought a lot of the top guys there already. Sean Porter, Errol Spence, Keith Thurman. Do you know what I mean? He's fought these guys, and unless he could get a Pacquiao fight or something like that, then yeah, maybe he just sees his future at 154 pounds. He's flirted with the idea before, but now it looks like that he might consider doing it. So let's see what happens, man. Let's see what happens. If he does move up there, I'll be a keen observer, but I'd say definitely approach it with caution, man, because there are some killers at light middleweight for sure. So let me know your thoughts about it, man. How do you see Danny Garcia getting on at 154 pounds if he does it? He came out this week and said that he feels like his future is at £154. So let's see, man. Let's see. But let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section below, guys, and I'll catch you on the next video.